Alright, part 5, the final preview before I start doing the reviews. Alright, first off, we have Minefield. 2-cost warrior spell. You deal 5 damage, randomly split among all minions. So for this card, it's... See, the thing is, it's just so random. So I don't know if it necessarily fits really anywhere for warriors, so... Yeah, honestly, not the biggest fan of it. Can't really see too much of a use for it, just because of its randomness, and it's to all minions as well. So most likely you're only going to want to play this if you don't really have anything on the board. So it's pretty situational first off, and just too random. Moon-Touched Amulet. 3-cost druid spell. Give your hero +4 attack this turn. If you corrupt it, you also gain 6 armor. I think this is actually a very strong druid attack spell. Because getting that 6 armor is also super useful for when you're attacking. Because then you're able to deal with whatever minion with 4 health. And then probably not take much damage. And probably still have some armor left over, to be honest. So I think it's pretty good. Don't know exactly where it would fit, but I think it's pretty strong. Mystery Winner. 1-cost 1/1 hunter minion. Battlecry, you discover a secret. I think this is pretty fair. Discovering a secret for 1 is already a thing. Now you just kind of throw 1/1 on it, and it makes it better. Obviously, because now it's just the same thing, except you get more out of it. So, I like it. Let's move on. Nazarmine Bloodweaver. 3-cost 2/5 priest minion. After you cast a spell, you reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 1. I think a very strong card again as well. Stats are pretty good. And most likely, you're probably going to see this for more of like a combo deck, I would guess. But I could be wrong. Combo seems like the best place to put this because of the reducing to make the combo easier to pull off, because now it's cheaper to do. Open the Cages. 2-cost hunter spell, or hunter secret, I apologize. When your turn starts, if you control 2 minions, summon an animal companion. Hey, I like that. I very much like that. Animal companions are always great, especially if you're only getting it for 2. Most likely gonna see play in probably an aggressive... Honestly, an aggressive hunter deck could use this pretty well, pretty effectively. Or just kind of some kind of beast hunter in general. But an aggressive deck could use this pretty well. And I like the idea of that. Parade Leader. 2-cost 2/3 neutral. After you summon a rush minion, you give it 2 attack. Simple. You're going to have to go very rush heavy for this card. But overall, I think it's fine. Pretty average. Not anything out of the ordinary, and no specific deck that you'd probably put it into. Pitmaster. 3-cost 1/2 for Shaman. Battlecry, you summon a 3/2 duelist. If you corrupt this, you instead summon 2, which is a lot better. Summoning 1 duelist really actually isn't that horrible, but summoning 2 is a lot of value. And it's, of course, not very difficult to pull off because it only costs 3. So I think a pretty decent card. A lot of duelist stuff Shaman is getting, I am noticing. I'm not exactly sure what they're trying to go for. The Face Shaman. It's like, no. That's not... No. It sounds terrible. But I think the value on this is pretty decent. The Prize Vendor. 2-cost 2/3 Murloc. Battlecry, both players draw a card. Simple. That's about it. That's all I can really say about it. simple and fine. It's a fine card, but mostly just simple. It's not very exciting. Probably useful for Murloc decks if you're trying to be aggressive, because you drawing that card is a lot more valuable than your opponent because you're trying to keep stuff in your hand. So, I mean, it's fine. Redeemed Parish. I'm not sure. 2-cost 2/3 Demon Hunter. After you play an Outcast card, gain +1/+1. So this is going back to playing a bunch of Outcast stuff, making Outcast better, even though Outcast is already very good. We don't need to make Outcast better, because it's already a very good card, or a good thing that Outcast is. So, just playing Outcast stuff makes it bigger. Could be good for an aggressive deck, maybe, if you have a lot of Outcast stuff in that aggressive deck particularly. But I think the value of it is already pretty decent. So, Red Scale Dragon Tamer. 2-cost 2/3 Murloc for Paladin. Death Rattle, you draw a dragon. I don't know if this is trying to go for dragons and Murlocs together again, like that one card. I forget what it's called. I think it's like Scale Lord, where it was a dragon that had Battlecry of giving Murlocs Divine Shield. So I don't know if it's trying to go for more Murloc Dragon synergy particularly, but it wouldn't be bad. Because also something that you could do in the deck is put like some kind of amalgam in there, which would be a Murloc, but also a dragon anyway. So then you draw that specific card and play it. Relentless Pursuit. 3-cost Demon Hunter spell. You give your hero +4 attack and immune this turn. Very strong. 4 attack for 3 is already decent, and you're immune, which is ridiculously good for Demon Hunter, especially if you're trying to take care of some big minion on the board that could cause issues for your aggressive strategy that you're probably going for. So I think it's good. Revolve. Oh, that is I didn't look very closely at this picture, and my goodness, I didn't realize at the top of it was a mouth and a bunch of teeth. That is gross and scary. 1-cost Shaman spell. You transform all minions into random ones with the same cost. I'm not sure exactly why you would play this card, because there's better stuff that you could rather do instead of transforming minions into random ones at the same cost. There's like Evolve, which makes them more expensive. There's other type of Evolve cards. Revolve doesn't really do anything useful unless you're playing around it specifically, where you just summon stuff and then you make them bigger because they're a bunch of small guys. Like, for example, let's say you play for a wild deck. Let's say you play Pantry Spider, so a 3-cost 1/2 beast that summons another 1/3 beast. They're both 1/3s. I mean, I think I said 1/2 for the first one. 1/3 that summons another 1/3. They both cost 3. And you can obviously use Revolve to make them into better 3-cost minions, because 1/3 is not good for a 3-cost minion. So you're most likely going to get better minions from that. But overall, I don't think it's that good of a card, because Evolve is a much better option that most people would rather probably use. Yes, Evolve isn't wild, but it's still a better option. It's just, this doesn't really provide anything useful. It's mostly what I'm trying to get at. Ring Matron. 6-cost 6/4 demon for Warlock. Has Taunt and Death Rattle. You summon 2/3/2 imps. I'm guessing they're Flame Imps. Just a guess. Most likely that's what it's going to be. I think this card is perfectly fine. I think it works well. Probably too slow for Zoo Warlock, but it could... I don't know. This could still be decent for Zoo Warlock, because you play this, and even if it dies, you get imps, 3/2 imps, which are probably flame imps. And Zoo Warlock really likes flame imps, I know. So I mean, this could still be an option for that. I don't know. I'm just throwing out ideas. Rock Rager. 2 cost 5/1 elemental for neutral. The neutral elemental with taunt. Simple. We're going with more Rager stuff. This is probably the best Rager of all of them because a 5/1 is a thing, but it costs 3. Let's make it a little cheaper and give it taunt. Sure. I like it. Still easily picked off by Mage, but it now costs the exact same amount for the Mage to use his hero power to, or her hero power to deal with the minion, instead of it costing your opponent 1 more. Ice Rager was another thing that they used where they're like, hey, if we give him 1 more health, maybe it will be fine. And the answer is not really. Safety Inspector. Look out. He is here to inspect your fares. A 1 cost, a 1/3 neutral. Battlecry, you shuffle the lowest cost card from your hand into your deck. And then you draw a card. Very interesting mechanic. And very strange to use, especially on a low cost minion. Because you probably would want to play that low cost card that is now going into your deck. That you now cannot play. I don't see... He's better later, but as an early game card, which is what you want to play at the... You want to play 1 cost cards at the beginning. But, like, he punishes you for doing that. So, honestly, just a normal 1/3 with no text is better than this, in my opinion. Yeah, not a fan of the Safety Inspector, I'll be honest. I don't see what the point of it is. The Showstopper. 2 cost, 3/2 neutral. Death Rattle, you silence all the minions. Very good card for silencing. Funniest thing is if you silence the silence, technically, is what it would be, because you're silencing the Death Rattle, which would cost silence. So you're silencing the silence if you think about it way too hard. So, I think it's pretty decent. I think it's completely fair. And helps deal with some of the cards that would be very good unless they get silenced. So this is a good way, I think, of a way of dealing with that. Also could be very good in a Silence Priest, for example, because it's silencing all the minions, not just enemy minions, all the minions. Snack Run, 2 cost Paladin spell. You discover a spell. You restore health to your hero equal to its cost. I think that's actually pretty decent. Well, you get a spell out of it, so it makes... Because the heal is most likely going to be worse than Holy Light, which is 2 cost, restore 6. The heal will generally be worse, but you get a heal. You still get the... The heal is worse, but you still get a spell out of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Which makes the card still fine, because you still get value out of it. You're basically just getting that heal of however much, because it can vary. and then you still get a spell out of it for value. So I think it's good. Stage Dive. 1 cost warrior spell. You draw a rush minion. But if you corrupt it, you give that rush minion that you draw +2/+1. I think it's fine. Tutoring a card for 1 is always pretty fair. Or a little bit more. So honestly, because it's 1 to tutor a card is generally better. And the corrupt is also easy to get off, which it does a pretty good buff to that rush minion. So if you're running like any rush minions in a warrior deck, which you probably are running about maybe 2 or 3, I'm guessing. This could be good. This could be a decent card and pretty useful. Just hopefully you don't draw your rush minions before you draw Stage Dive, because that would be very unfortunate. We have a Stage Hand. 2 cost 3/2 mech for warrior. Battlecry, you give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. Perfectly fine. Not sure what kind of deck it would go into. But the Battlecry is decent. Stats are a little under, but the Battlecry makes up for it. It's a mech, which is kind of weird. Well, it's not weird for warrior. It makes sense for warrior because warrior used to have a lot of mechs, but there's probably not too much mech stuff right now. But overall, still a decent card. I like it. I was gonna say, I don't know what I was gonna say. Start off with an M sound. I'm like, okay, I'm not starting in strike. No, Storm Strike. 3 cost Shaman spell. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Give your hero +3 attack this turn. Okay, so we got more stuff for Shaman getting attack. Which I think Shaman getting attack is pretty normal, pretty decent. Especially since, well, no, Shaman getting attack isn't normal. What am I saying? But it's decent. It's fine. Because that seems to be the thing this expansion, with giving Shaman attack or Shaman having a weapon. Because there's a bunch of cards based around that now. So I think that's very much what they're trying to push for. In the end, though, I don't know if they're going to be able to do enough for it. To be honest. Because, like, they only do about 10 cards per class. It might be less now because of Demon Hunter, so they might only do 9 per class. And you can't really turn a meta in a direction that you want it with only, like, 9 cards. Plus, not all 9 have, like, a giving hero attack or a weapon. They can't all be that. But anyway, I think it's fair, though, overall. Sweet Tooth. 2 cost, 3/2 rogue minion. Corrupt. Gain +2 attack and stealth. It's interesting. 5/2 with stealth. Sweet Tooth. Why would Sweet Tooth... I don't know. You know what? I'm not even going to question it. So, 2 cost 5/2 with stealth would actually be very good. It's not hard to get the corrupt off. Otherwise, it would just be a normal 2 cost 3/2. I like it. I think it's fair. The corrupt is easy to get off, so you're able to get it stealthed. Maybe this would be headed towards more stealth rogue stuff. I don't know. But that could be a direction that he could end up going. Swindle. Why am I saying it so? Swindle. 2 cost rogue spell. Draw a spell. Combo. And a minion. I think that's pretty good. 2 cost to tutor 2 cards if you played something earlier. I think that is completely normal. No, I think it is strong. because drawing 2 for 2 is very good value, especially if those draws are tutors. 2 cost drawing a spell is already, I think, relatively fine. So, because like tutoring is always very useful because you can draw specific stuff. So, getting 2 tutors for 2 is very good. I like it. I think it's very strong. Most likely, I'd see this more for like a tempo, because control, then you're drawing too much, and you're going to lose at the end when you run out of cards more than your opponent if you're playing against a different control. So probably more towards like a tempo direction this is going. But I think it's just good. Overall, it's just good. Sword Eater. 4 cost, 2/5 pirate for warrior with taunt. Battlecry, you equip a 3/2 sword. Good value all around. It's got taunt. 3/2 sword is always great. 3/2 weapons are very normal. I see a lot of those now where it's like 3/2 weapon for 3 and it does this thing. Except for Fiery War Axe. We have made that bad now. Because why would you play Fiery War Axe when you can get this other 3/2 weapon that has text? Ooh. Because it used to cost 2, and it makes everyone sad. Just thinking about it again. Anyway, so basically we're saying a 3/2 weapon costs 3, so you're getting for 1 a 2/5 taunt. I think that's pretty darn good then. Overall, I do think the card is very strong. I like it. Throw Glaive. Just throw it. 1 cost Demon Hunter spell. You deal 2 damage to a minion. If it dies, add a temporary copy of this to your hand. And I think by temporary, it's talking like Echo, I'm guessing. Where you only echo if it kills something, but I'm not sure if that's exactly what it's going for. But it would make kind of sense because you can't say echo because it's not necessarily echo, it's slightly different. So if there's a bunch of small stuff, you can easily just kind of kill stuff around. So good against like a bunch. So good against probably Zoo Warlock, and good against like a Token Druid. I like it. Probably not going to go into the aggressive Demon Hunter. Not sure what kind of Demon Hunter it would do. Maybe a Soul Fragment Demon Hunter could head towards. Join that group of guys. But not sure. Trampling Rhino. 5 cost, 5/5 beast for hunter. It has rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, excess damage hits the enemy hero. Interesting. Could be good and aggressive because even though it's rush, it still can deal some damage to the enemy hero on the first turn that it's played. So if it kills like a 3/3, 2 damage goes to face, which really isn't much, but it's aggressive then, technically. And most likely you're not going to keep going. You're not actually going to go face with this constantly. You're actually probably going to use it to clear the board, while you can also still damage the face as well. Knuckles was a very good example of it, where he could kill stuff and deal damage to face, because no matter how much health or whatever it had, if it attacked a minion, its damage also went to face, which is a better version of this, I think, because this only does excess damage to face. But it's not bad. I think it's still decent. I think it's fair. Put it on the list of cards that could be maybe used for an aggressive hunter if he ends up being aggressive. Umbral Owl. 7 cost, 4/4 beast for druid. Has rush and costs 1 less for each spell you've cast this game. So this obviously is looking for a druid that plays a bunch of spells. Because obviously you need to play spells. Because otherwise, without playing spells, this card is trash. So you have to be playing some sort of spells. So like this would go into like a spell druid, or like even a normal beast druid could maybe use it, because normal beast druid probably will have some spells in it too to buff beasts. Or you got the open the cage for the animal companion. You could run animal companions, add some more spells to have. Wait, why am I thinking hunter cards now? No. It's druid. We are talking druid, not hunter. Why was I going straight to hunter? Oh, because hunter normally has the beast stuff. So, okay, what options do we have then? We have, for spells for beasts. Okay, good. I can't really think of anything right now, but I'm sure there are. Druid spells aren't really necessarily driven towards beasts, so maybe a beast druid wouldn't exactly be the best option. Probably just like a spell druid then, really. Malagos druid. Put it in a Malagos druid. There we go. He can help control the board a little bit before you get the combo off. There we go. Now we figured it out. Whack-a-Knoll Hammer. 3 cost, 3/2 weapon for Shaman. After your hero attacks, you give a friendly minion +1/+1. So as I was saying before, Fiery War Axe is a 3 cost, 3/2, which is bad. But hey, we have plenty of options that are 3 cost, 3/2 weapons, but with text. This is a different class. Yes, I understand that. But you still have to compare it to like the base version of it. And honestly, it's not horrible. You're only basically buffing minions +2/+2. But it's not bad. It has uses. The buffs are still nice, but it's not like super useful. So it's okay. 2 cost, 2/1 for neutral. We have Wriggling Horror, yeah. Battlecry, you give adjacent minions +1/+1. You need to have adjacent minions. You cannot play this on curve, because that is not a good idea. This will be played later to give not even that much of a buff. It gives +2/+2, which makes up for its small amount of stats, so I mean, it's not bad, but you cannot play this on curve. Most likely, you're going to want to aim for, like, turn 4, turn 5 to probably play this. Overall, it's not bad. It's just, where does it go, necessarily, is the direction that my brain goes. It's just like, where exactly would you fit? That's everything. That is all the cards. That is all the cards from Madness at the Darkmoon Faire. So very soon I will be working on those reviews, getting those out there. And remember that the expansion comes out November 17. And it will be a good time at the fair.